G'day everybody, my name's Mark Reed from the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority, and I'm here today to give you the latest reef health update. In the last week, we've had the cloud cover dissipate from North Queensland, which has meant the satellites have been able to look at the reef and give us an up-to-date picture about the flood plumes. Not surprisingly, we've seen flood plumes from Princess Charlotte Bay all the way down to south of Mackay. What we can see is some of these flood plumes extend at least 100 kilometres out into the marine park, covering some of the mid-shelf reefs, which is quite unprecedented. The reefs that are most concerned for us, however, are the inshore reefs and also the seagrass meadows, because they're going to be most heavily covered by the very turbid water. So for us, the things that we'll be looking out for into the future is the impact of the floodwaters on our inshore corals and also on our seagrass meadows. We've had some teams out there looking at the current situation, so we've had teams from the Marine Monitoring Program out looking at the distribution and extent of the flood plumes, and we've had AIMS out there looking at water quality samples as well. These are really crucial pieces of information for us to better understand the extent and the distribution of the flood plumes. For us, into the future, is the impact of these floods on the animals that rely on seagrass meadows, particularly the dugongs and the green turtles. We think there's likely to be an impact because their food resources will be diminished, and we expect to start seeing impacts probably in months to 6 to 12 months time. So everybody out there in the marine park, please keep your eyes peeled for these animals, and if you see something that looks unusual, record it using your Eye on the Reef app, or contact your nearest office of Queensland Parks and Wildlife Service or the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority. For us, there's been a little bit of a blessing from the cloud cover in the fact that the overly hot water that we had over the marine park has since cooled down, and that's probably reduced the significant likelihood of a mass bleaching event. However, the forecast indicates that we're likely to have hotter than average waters going through into March and April, so that's certainly what we'll be focusing on, just to make sure that we can understand the impact of this summer on the Great Barrier Reef. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to us, and we'll look forward to chatting to you next week.